Welcome to the Fox 5, the show that explores the wonderful world of Fox rehabilitation through an original list created by a Fox colleague. That Fox colleague today is speech-language pathologist Anne Mironchik. Anne, welcome back.
Hi, Jim. Thank you so much for asking me to do this and letting me think back on the conference that I was at.
You attended the ASHA Conference in 2023, and you were so good on the podcast, I requested an encore on the Fox 5.
Okay.
Because I think
Here
this
you
could be
go.
helpful. And this is more distilled. So you can listen to the long form on the Live Better Longer podcast, but this will be a more distilled version of that. And you gave great tips on the podcast. So without giving away too much, I think I already did. Anne, what is your Fox 5 today?
My Fox 5 are 5 tips for going to a national convention.
All right, Anne. So what is number 1 on your Fox 5?
So number 1 is don't necessarily just book the hotel where the conference is. I have always enjoyed being in a either walkable or short travel distance from the conventions, but I don't have to be there 100% of the time. To me, that would have been overwhelming. And I love being able to choose a little neighborhood outside the main area. And so that's my first.
That is such a good tip, because I think a lot of people will be like, the closer I am, the better. If I can be in the convention center, that's awesome. But I like that you're saying you need a little bit of separation.
Yep.
And that brings us to number 2 on your Fox 5.
Number 2 is kind of linked to that for me, and that's make time to sightsee, make time to get out. And what I noticed was, and I was in Boston, which is where I did my graduate work. So I was so happy to be visiting Boston again. And I went to a taping of a radio show that I listened to, a podcast. And going to that with the foundation and background of having taken courses in communication and attended these seminars and things on cognitive function and voice production and all, I brought that to my experience watching this taping. And it was wonderful. It was wonderful.
That brings us to number 3.
Yep. Go to the convention with an intention. So there's always different goals that we all have throughout our career. You want to be able to go to the convention with an intention. It even rhymes. And that way you come away feeling, like you did something, instead of, I went and I saw a bunch of things, or I did this, but give yourself a couple of intentions.
Yeah, and you'll see the list of presenters and the list of courses before convention, so you can even plan beforehand with that intention.
Yeah, for sure.
And that brings us to number 4 on your Fox 5.
Okay. Number 4, know your study habits and your style of learning and your limits for overload. You can easily end up with a migraine and, going back to your hotel room too soon and then stressing about how you're in bed and you're not at the sessions you paid for. So be realistic about what to do, where to go, how many things you're going to do in a day, and drink enough water. As your speech therapist, please drink enough water and eat on a regular schedule. Take care of yourself while you're there.
I think that's important to hear. You need to have limits, because I know I always talk about the A+ student. They want to hit everything. You're not going to hit everything. And that brings us to number 5 on your Fox 5.
Okay. I have to thank my colleague and new friend Maureen Colquette for making this number 5, and that's go to a conference with a trusted friend, trusted colleague, someone who you may not have the same intentions, you may not have the same interests in sightseeing, but you have someone to touch base with, at the end of the day, for a meal, and maybe attend a session or so with, commiserate about how there's too much to do. Like, am I going crazy? Is it me? Are you going crazy? And if you don't have a colleague there, then maybe you want to think about doing one of the group social things that they always have available. Make sure you add some social time, some structured social time in there. It really helped, and Maureen and I will forever be connected by the Boston 2023 convention.
So for anyone who is attending a conference this year, pull up this Fox 5 and follow those 5 great tips.
Yeah, and let me know what you think.
So for Anne Mironchik, my name is Jim Shear, and we will see Yins later.